Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode in our must-haves video series. This series focuses on pop culture related collectibles that we believe have long-term investment potential. Today's episode is going to focus on ultra-modern comics. Now, we define the ultra-modern period as any comics released in the past 10 years. This is 2020, so we'll go back to 2010 for our ultra-modern video segments. Now, we picked out 5 books today, all graded CGC 9.8 or higher. I think today's are all 9.8. We think with any of the modern comics, any of the ultra-modern comics, you definitely want to stay 9.8 or higher. You don't want to go below that for your long-term investment portfolio. Like I said, we did pick out 5 for today's segment. We're going to actually present these in the order of market value in today's market. This is November 2020. So if you are watching this in the future, be aware that all the prices we give you today are current as of November 2020. So we are going to present these in market value order, starting with book number 1. This is Silk number 1. Now, this was released in 2015. Silk has become a huge character in the MCU. This is a book that a lot of people are chasing right now. Amazing Spider-Man number 4 was the first appearance of Cindy Moon, who becomes Silk, and this is her first standalone series. So a lot of people are after this book. This book actually has risen in value over the past few months. This should cost you about $200 to $300 in today's market. Now, one of the drivers of the value increase, we believe, is the fact that there is going to be a live television show, a live action television show based on Silk. This is going to be released on Amazon, they're projecting, in 2021. So it's coming soon. Silk, the character, is going to be the first Asian American superhero to actually lead her own show. So it's going to be a big deal. We believe it's going to be super popular, and it should drive the price upward on this particular issue and on the first appearance in Amazing Spider-Man number 4 also. So if you actually watch our first Ultra-Modern must-haves video segment, you'll see that we actually highlighted the Amazing Spider-Man number 4 in that. In this segment here, we have Silk number 1. This is one we do think we should add to your long-term investment portfolio. When there's a popular show, a popular character, and everybody's interested in it, it does seem to set a floor on the pricing. So right now, this book is going to cost about $200 to $300. If that's where the floor sets, then there's no risk in adding it at that price in today's market. If it keeps going up, you definitely want to make sure you get in today. But the floor might set in a little lower than today's current price. But like I said, whenever there's a popular character everybody's into, it typically sets the floor on a particular comic book issue. So this is one you should focus on. Make sure you do your homework and get it at the right price. But this is one that we think you should add to your long-term investment portfolio. Silk number 1. Now, the second book in today's video segment, Miss Marvel number 1. Now, this is the first time a Muslim character has headlined a book at the Marvel Comics. This is where Kamala Khan actually becomes Miss Marvel. Kamala Khan actually had her first appearance earlier in another series prior to her own series, but this is where Kamala Khan actually becomes Miss Marvel. So this is one that everybody's after. This has been popular for the last few years. People have already been chasing this book, so it has driven the price up a little bit already. This is a book that should cost you about $300 to $400 in today's market. One that we believe does have some future potential, because there is also a live action TV series based on Kamala Khan coming soon also. In 2021, I believe it's going to be released on HBO. It's already in the works. They're expecting to release it next year. So that is definitely going to drive interest and a huge fan base for this particular character. And we do think this has a lot of long-term investment potential. It already had, like I said, it's already caught the attention of collectors and investors for the past few years. One you definitely want to get into. Released in 2014. It's already 6 years into it. So you don't want to be late on this one. We do believe this one has some long-term investment potential going forward. $300 to $400 in today's market. A great addition to your long-term investment portfolio. Now, the next one is one that a lot of you may have missed out on. The Last of Us, number 1, released in 2013 by Dark Horse. Now, this is a prequel to the video game. So this came out prior to the video game's release by Naughty Dog. This was produced by produced by Dark Horse in collaboration with Naughty Dog to promote their video game release, but they grossly underprinted this. So this is a super low print run. This is the first print edition. You'll know the first print edition, and that's the one you want to add to your collection. The first print edition has the white title on it. The future or subsequent printings of this particular edition have different colored printing for the Last of Us title. So the white title is the one you want. That is the first print edition. Now, like I said, grossly underprinted by Dark Horse. They did not expect it to be as popular as it was. There is a TV series based on The Last of Us as well, coming soon, maybe in 2021 or 2022. There was a movie planned, but the movie was canceled in favor of a series. So this is one that we do believe when the series comes out, going to be super popular. Also, going to set a floor for this particular book. In today's market, it's already going to cost you about $400 to $500. Definitely get in on the ground floor on this one. You're not too late to get this one. We don't think this is actually ever going to drift down lower than that. We do think it's going to tick up higher. If you follow any of the other collectibles related to the Last of Us franchise, especially the video game, you have the post-pandemic issue, for instance, for The Last of Us, already trading $2,000 to $3,000 for that. You have a lot of other collectibles for The Last of Us that are very collected, very highly sought after. So the comic book itself, this is one just people have not been paying a lot of attention to lately, that we believe has great potential going forward. Add this to your collection sooner rather than later. This is one we think you should definitely focus on. The Last of Us #1. Now, the fourth book in our video segment today is one that I'm sure a lot of you are unaware of. Love is Love. Now, this was a tribute and fundraising issue produced by IDW Publishing in collaboration with DC Comics. This was actually produced as a fundraiser for the survivors of the Orlando nightclub shooting back in 2016. They raised about $165,000 for the survivors of the nightclub shooting with this particular comic. Comic writers, illustrators, everyone associated with the comic book industry donated their time and talents to make this particular anthology. A lot of one-page comics in here, a lot of single panels, a lot of two-page strips. They were all donated to this anthology to raise money for the victims of the Orlando nightclub shooting. That is not why you should add it to your collection for long-term investment potential. That reason is because this is the first licensed appearance of Harry Potter in comics. Now, J.K. Rowling did not want Harry Potter to appear in comics. She did not like the comic book format, so she never licensed Harry Potter for comic books until this one. So in this book, you'll see Harry Potter, Ron, Hermione, and Dumbledore all casting a spell. I think they're creating a rainbow. It's a single panel page, and it was actually illustrated by Jim Lee. So huge deal, the fact that Jim Lee illustrated Harry Potter, first licensed appearance of Harry Potter in comics. And this is actually the second printing. If you notice on the label, this is the second printing edition. It actually hit the shelves prior to the first print due to a manufacturing issue with the first print edition. These actually shipped before the first print hit the shelves. So this is the one, I think it came out about a month prior to the first print hitting the shelves. So the second print edition is the one you want. That was the first one released. First licensed appearance of Harry Potter in comics, illustrated by Jim Lee on that particular panel. Now, this is a very important comic work. It slipped through the cracks of a lot of collectors and investors because there was, a lot of people just bought these for the fundraising effort and they just added them to their collection. A lot of these have not been graded yet. There's only 4 in CGC 9.8. So this book is going to cost you about $500 or more in today's market. There might be some more 9.8s added to the market later on, but this is a book that people are going to want once they realize that it's the first comic book appearance of Harry Potter. There has been buzz recently that the first comic book appearance of Harry Potter was in CrossGen. I think the CrossGen publishing company made a comic Mystic number 15, where they had a wizard boy holding a sword and older wizard behind him. And so people are claiming that's the first comic book appearance of Harry Potter. Harry Potter's name is not mentioned. It was not licensed to use his likeness in a comic. So that one is not being recognized as the first appearance of Harry Potter. This one is. So make sure that if you're a Harry Potter fan, if you're a first appearance fan, if you've been wondering why there's no Harry Potter comics and where he is in the comic book world, this is his first licensed appearance. This is a book that you want to add to your long-term investment portfolio. There's not a lot of these out there. Like I said, there's 4 in CGC 9.8. So try to find one of these. This is a good one to hold on to. Love is Love. Now, the last book in today's video segment is a super important one. Marvel Celebrates Stan Lee. Now, a lot of you are aware of this book already. This was released on October 2019, the day after the New York Comic Con ended. There was a special gala held at the New Amsterdam Theater where this book was given to the attendees of the gala. It was given to attendees in a gift bag that also included a couple other items, but this particular book was the one that everyone wanted. A lot of people are not going to sell this. They're going to hang on to it and as a memory of that particular event and of a memory of Stan Lee himself. But these are super hot. The raw book alone would cost you about $1,000 or so, $1,000 plus. But in 9.8 right now, we only see a few listings for 9.8 online, and they're all $15,000 or more. We don't really think that's where the price is. For 9.8, we think the 9.8 price should be about $3,000 to $5,000 in that range. But like I said, there are some listings at $15,000, so if they start selling at that price, and that's the price, you know, the market dictates the price, you know, you don't. So $15,000 currently listed, but we think $3,000 to $5,000 you should be able to pick up one of these in CGC 9.8. Very important book, very important tribute to a great man in the comic books industry, one that we think has some great potential going forward. This is a very low print run. It was only printed for the attendees of the gala. So you're talking about a low print run book, not a lot of them out there, not a lot of them are ever going to come to market. People are going to hold on to that as a memory of Stan Lee. So this is one you should add to your long-term investment portfolio. Do the homework on this, pay the right price, and this is a great investment. So there are our 5 selections for today's video segment. Please let us know what you think in the comment section below. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.